Back again for another episode of The Process. I know I say this all the time without doing this, but this is no lie. I'm sitting here with my favorite athlete. She knows it. The rest of the boys know it. She is my favorite, Miss Asha Pearson. How we doing, Asha?
I'm good.
So, how would you describe your high school athletic career?
Very long.
It was.
Yeah, when I was a freshman, I basically I was so eager to I just wanted to be a 3-sport athlete. That was all. And I wasn't really focused on the other 2 sports. I was just soccer, So I planned my other 2 sports for conditioning for soccer. So I picked the 2 conditioning sports, cross country and swim. And just for the sole purpose of soccer, though. Not because I wanted to do those.
Oh, I remember.
But yeah.
And what's crazy is you get to your freshman year of soccer, you're so excited. And what happened your freshman year?
We couldn't even play. So,
because of COVID.
And the team was really, it was so big. We had a lot of seniors that year. Yeah, and then we got 2 weeks. I got a concussion that year, too.
I remember that.
Yeah, the week before the world shut down. I got a concussion, and then we never went back.
So, really, you've only had 3 years of sports. And I remember that, and that was such a crazy time because I remember you were so excited. You were so excited. You were a freshman. You just made varsity, and then boom, the way fate happens, the world gets shut down.
Yeah.
Then, how would you describe your sophomore and junior years of soccer?
They was very challenging, I would say, just because we had no subs, we had no JV teams, so it was just a small group of girls who wanted to get better, but it was very hard because the skill level was very low. So we had a lot of new players, and it wasn't even that we only had a lot of new players. We were facing opponents that were very, very high in skill level. So it was a team full of freshmen and sophomores versus
a team full of vets.
Yeah.
Hungry, mean girls.
Yeah.
I remember some of those games just sitting back and just worried for you guys. Also, too, if you can remember, can you list off all the injuries you've had? Since you've been playing. Do we have enough time now to list off all your injuries?
I rolled my ankle cross country, and then I sprained it in soccer the same year. So then that was an ongoing injury since I still feel it, but it's not that bad, But then I think it's really just with my ankle. Oh, I forgot. I had really bad shin splints my sophomore year. Yes, yeah, I forgot about that.
And the concussions.
Yeah.
And the, I remember joking, we're going to put you in a bubble for a game. Because we were just so worried. But you're here. And we're here today talking about the process journey, but we're not talking about soccer today, are we?
No.
So, tell everybody 2 things. First off, where are you going to continue your school next year? And secondly, what sport are you going to be doing it for?
So next year I'm going to be attending Avila, and I'm going to be attending their wrestling program. So, yeah.
So, I know, few of us know, but how did we end up from you're a go hard soccer star, you're going to be in a women's national soccer team one day. You're going to represent. You're going all the way, and then now, how do we end up now? You're going to go wrestling.
Well, it was it didn't even have to do with anything with soccer. It was because I quit swim my junior year, and it was just I was so mentally drained, and I was forcing myself to do a sport that I didn't really enjoy anymore. So I just decided to leave that, and I didn't want to do nothing during the winter season. So I just I wanted to do something, and a lot of my friends were on the wrestling team. So they finally, it took me a long time to convince myself, because I was going back and forth, and I was no, I'm just going to get beat up every day. And then I was well, at least I get to work out, And I was like, well, maybe they'll let me join the team without wrestling and I'll just work out with them. But then it ended up being good. So.
So tell us, what was the best part of wrestling?
Honestly, I would say the best part of wrestling would be the team, just the whole team. I've never been on a team that felt more like a family than that team. And joining new teams can be hard, especially when you're joining as a senior, and you're you want to be competitive, but you're learning, you're trying all these new things. Everybody was so open and they're so accepting to you, because wrestling is not a sport where you can just go in and you look good. You look like a chicken with your head cut off. You look, people are slamming you, you're trying to crouch down and you're like, what do I do? But they're so accepting and everyone is, they want you to get better and they're pushing you and they're even hyping you up when you shouldn't be hyped up. But I just really enjoyed the environment there.
So what was the hardest part about wrestling?
Oh my, I would say cutting weight.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, or just the mental aspect to continue to push yourself when your body is fully drained, because you're doing reps, you're continuing to wrestle, and you at some point you start to wrestle you can only move so fast because you've pushed your body, and you're sprinting but you're not even moving because you've been sprinting all practice long.
No, listen, I wrestled in high school. I've done a lot of sports. By far, wrestling was the toughest sport I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for people who wrestle because it's not for the weak. And that's amazing. So when did you first realize that you were good enough to wrestle in college?
I would say the meet here at Center, I got first place. I wouldn't say I thought I was good enough to wrestle in college, but I was like, okay, I seen my growth. I have progressed so much, and I felt like I could actually do something. I could actually be good. I wasn't okay, I'm gonna wrestle in college until districts. And if I was if I do good at districts and I make it to state, then I'm gonna really make this happen. But other than that, I'm just gonna take a step back and do that.
And she's being modest, but right now we're gonna brag on her, the first female state qualifier in Center history. That is you. You've overcome the odds so much. So for us, it's not a big surprise, because you overcome the odds. Yeah, first year wrestling, nothing. Wrestling scholarship in the bag. That's just you. You make it seem easy, but I just don't want to talk about. I know it hasn't been easy for you, and I know you personally, but and so I know a lot of people may not realize this, but I know you have, and you still know struggle, but you've battled some mental health issues over your lifetime, especially throughout your high school career. I know you suffer from really bad anxiety. What kind of challenges has that been like for you?
I would say it was really hard to push myself to join the team because I was so scared of the outcome. Just getting myself, and I would really say it was more my close friends that really got me, Lily and Eric. They were really there to help me with that. But just getting myself to really take that step to join the team, because I feel my anxiety stems from more fears, and I was just so scared I was just gonna make a fool of myself, or I was gonna get hurt and then I couldn't play soccer, or this and that, just so many different things. But also I felt so much anxiety when it comes to soccer, just because the pressure put on me by the team and by the coaches and everything to be that star player that I'm supposed to be. And I don't know, it's just also too, when I joined my club team my junior year, it's just going out and joining teams and starting new things is really hard for me.
Oh, you're putting yourself out there, most definitely.
And that's just once I'm in the setting and I'm there and like doing things. It gets a little better, but just like starting that, or like the anxiety of like you know, am I gonna be able to win this next match? You know, just like I just feel like it's so, they make it seem like it's so important who you beat, you know, for later on. It's just like the pressure, yeah.
No, I get it. I'll tell you all the time, like, actually, get out your own head.
Yeah.
Get out your own head. Because, you know, it's different because the way you view yourself, when people view you, can be different sometimes. And I think one thing about you, just like a lot of it, is you used to put so much pressure on yourself. But you know, you've always risen to the level. You've always overcome. That's what we all love and respect about you. And I get it. And, you know, sometimes you're a female in a lot of times a male-dominated sport, but you've always stood tall amongst the giants. And I would say, what is your message out there to other young ladies, you know, who are struggling or may they may lack self-confidence, they really have bad anxiety? Like, man, what is your message to them that can it get better? Will it get better?
Yeah, I feel like you just need to take a step back and realize, like, you are your own person, you know, and once you have confidence to trust yourself that you're gonna make the right decisions and you're gonna do the right things, and, you know, like, be there for yourself to support yourself, then that allows you to then grow as a person and kind of grow out of that mindset. Because that was something that I had to reflect like all summer long, basically this summer, because I had a really hard time last year and I did not want my senior year to be like that. So I just reflected on the things that I was doing and who, like, the person I was and who did I want to become, how did I want to act around those people. And it's hard because sometimes you know, the people around you don't see the little changes that you feel you're making. They don't see your progress. But as long as you're recognizing your progress and you understand that you are doing these things for yourself, I think that's important.
You're absolutely right. I know I always told you, and one of the reasons you're my favorite is because you listen to me better than anybody else. And I always told you, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. And you accepted every challenge, man, just forward. And you have changed, but I don't think you've grown. You know, and I'm gonna say physically you're still skinny as all wood, but you have grown. Like, you're a giant, man, amongst you. You really are, and I hope you realize just the impact that you've left here at this school. And you may not realize it, you know, but it's there. You know, we say this, but, you know, all these other things, but that's probably not your best activity you've done here. Biasly, and I'm very biased, outstanding #1 football manager. Yes, he did. Hey, listen, everybody thinks being a football manager is all fun, it's all things, but it's not. It's a lot of, talk a little about what your experience of dealing with us and DeLong and myself and Nichols and the boys. Like, what was it like being a football manager?
Well, #1, you guys stink.
Oh wow! She can say that. You're saying, get it all out. Let's get it all out.
Like,
go ahead.
Nasty. I'm just like, yeah, they stink. But I would just say, I don't know. I actually enjoyed it, and that's why I did it. If I didn't enjoy it, then I wouldn't have been there. But it was a lot of fun. I feel sometimes, you know, the environment was very tense and stressful. You know, everybody may have been upset for something else, but it was always fun. You know, I enjoyed it, and it was a good little football family.
I'll say from a coach's standpoint I'll say it's about managers. People don't understand how important managers are until you have a bad one.
Oh.
Then you realize, like, man, it's important. So I'm telling you, hey, we had a great season, but it's times where, and these little divas out there, the water's not cold enough, or they need a mouthpiece, or getting the ball, but it's you guys.
Yeah, you hold like 5 different football gloves.
It's just, my sandwiches had enough peanut butter on it, no jelly. Hey, it's you guys held together.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh, you're making the sound. I mean, these guys, you're right, they're crying about who has crunchy.
We need more jelly.
Hey, listen, I get it. You know what? No, but you did, man. You have done everything here. Me personally, I would say this. Like, I'm a dad. Got a daughter. You met her. bosses me around all the time. But I would say this. I know I have my own anxieties about growing, being a dad, what's going to happen to my daughter. But if she turns out half as good as you have, I know I was a good dad. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Avila, you better take care of her. You better be good to her, because if not, we are coming. But you are family. And hope you know I love you. We all love you. And we're so proud of you.
Thank you. Right?
Give him a heck. What weight? You know what weight you're going to rest in that next?
I don't know yet. I think I'm going to be... I don't know yet.
Hey, we'll just eat this summer, because you're not fun when you're hangry. So please eat and enjoy yourself. But hey, all the best wishes to you. You and my dog, man. I love you.
Thank you.
You forget, they handshakes a lot.